Hello, j'espère que ça se passe. On va continuer Rise of the Rōnin. Et donc voilà quoi. Donc à vos manettes, à vos claviers, et merci pour votre soutien. Et bon visionnage, bon jeu. Et on continue. Allez, c'est parti. Alors, allez au temple Ongaku, ok, si tu veux. On va appeler le collègue, attends. Ouais, ok. Prendre ça. Allez. Ah ouais. Allez.
I just saw a most unsettling looking man entering the main hall. I am certain he is their leader. Well, are you all set to enter the temple?
Alors.
What's the hold up? We have no time to lose.
Non, t'as raison.
Well, are you all set to enter the temple?
Oui, c'est bon, c'est bon. Je croyais que...
Good. Then we shall proceed under cover of darkness. They may be a disorderly lot.
But there is strength in numbers.
Alors, recruter, non. Tac, tac. Coopération. Donc, il y a lui.
Stay sharp.
Alors.
Snap out of it. Now.
Allez. Infiltrer la salle principale. Ok.
Looking for something?
What are you doing here? Get in my way, and I'll calm down.
After me!
What's this? You're reduced to being a foreigner's lapdog. I don't think you can stop me like that! You're still as good as they say. Why are you walking with the foreigners? Hit hard, but this isn't over!
C'est bon. Ok. Allez, allez, allez.
Why are you working with the outsiders? What do you know? I don't need lectures from you. Haven't you heard? The first American consulate was in this village, along with the outbreak of cholera. We should never have had dealings with foreigners. It endangers us all. This is a belief I am willing to fight for.
Ah. Bon.
The mob has obeyed their leader's order and dispersed. Our plan worked.
Very well then. About my curious bodyguard. They were captured in Yokohama by Commodore Perry some years ago. They were taken back to the United States and held in custody. We were deeply relieved when we realized they wanted to cooperate. How the hell should I know? I just hired them to protect me. However, I did hear a great deal about Japan on our voyage over. Working for me was their idea. I'm not such an imbecile to try to strong-arm them. And thanks to that, we were able to conclude the Commerce Treaty. But then they up and vanished. Well, that sums up what I know. Any questions? Well, it was the very day after we signed the treaty. Didn't even bother to collect their pay. Come to think of it, I heard the British might have also requested their services. Ah, that mechanical arm was made in the United States. It can fire shells and steel wire. Quite the device, I must say. Now, that will be all for the moment. Should you need to know any more, save it for another day.
Fukuzawa, I am going to escort the Consul General to a safe location. Once things settle down, we'll make contact via the Grand Villa.
Ok.
I think we made a good connection there. I look forward to learning more about the United States. I plan to continue my education there one day. Shoin Yoshida could not realize his dream, but I fully intend to make it happen. Shoin Yoshida is wanted for conspiracy against the shogun. But by now I imagine he has already been apprehended. Now I shall take my leave. Until next time.
Bon, ok.
So, how do you plead?
Have I not made myself clear? The shogunate serves a purpose no longer. That is why I urge our people to rise decisively as one. It is they who must build this nation anew.
What can the people possibly do? They must stand behind the shogunate, or we all fall to the foreigners. You wish to keep our country safe? Then the people must fall in line.
So this is the nation you want? A land of purges and repression.
Your insolence and insubordination are unforgivable. You must be punished by execution. Take him away!
Alors, qu'est-ce que ça nous dit? Compétences, ok. Voyons voir ça. C'est pas vrai. Ok. Lien, on va voir les liens. Ok. Bon. Quelqu'un a besoin d'aide. Ok. Ah, ce qui serait bien, c'est que là, objet, cheval. Mission. J'embrasse cette cause. Ok. Donc, est-ce que je vais au plus près pour aller... Ouais.
It's clear you're made of stern stuff. How would you like to help us dispense some justice? We intend to punish a wicked official who's moved into the village up ahead. He's a villain who torments the people and deserves what's coming. Excellent. You have my thanks. Now, the man is surrounded by lackeys. We need to think of a strategy. We could overpower them if we all stormed the village, but there would be casualties. Alternately, we could sneak in and take them unawares, but it would limit our numbers. What approach do you think is best? Attacking in force or striking from the shadows? What? You would do this alone? All right. Just be careful. You hear me? Right. If it's decided, then let's not waste any time.
Okay. passer par là. Ah, si. Bon, merci. J'aurais dû. Je peux passer par là.
Who the hell are you? Think you can rebel against His Excellency?
Count me in. The ills of society won't reform themselves. I was right to have you infiltrate their ranks.
Excellent.
It's done, and we have you to thank for it. It was truly amazing, the way you fought. The official and his lackeys didn't stand a chance. We must keep up the good work and purge Japan of as many of their ilk as we can. Indeed, let us both do our part. I'm glad that our paths crossed, my friend. Our country is safer with people like your good self on watch.
Ok. Parler à Oumadiakato. Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose de plus près là? Ok. faire mal quand même.
Do how it grows.
Hola!
Thank goodness you're here. There's awful news. The Red Demon sentenced Master Shoin to death. Then this will be quick. This is Fumi, Master Shoin's younger sister. An official told her they're planning to execute her brother soon.
Please, help me save my brother. If we don't, here...
We cannot allow this to happen. We need to muster the troops and get Kasura to come up with some kind of plan. But first, we need to let Shinsaku and your husband know what's happening. They've been keeping their distance from Katsura, it seems. I'm talking about Genzoi. Fumi is married to him. The problem is finding Shinsaku. Who knows where he's loitering?
I'd say there's a good chance he's in Chinatown. I'll go and look for him there. If you wouldn't mind searching for my husband.
I'm not sure it's safe for Fumi to go alone. Shinsaku's associating with some unsavory sorts, I hear. Go after her and help her find Shinsaku. Leave Genzoi to me. I'm counting on you.
Ok.
I've procured some... What will it be?
Attends, déjà, je pense que on va alléger tout ça.
Of course. Of course. Of course. Is there anything else? Of course. Is there anything else?
Ok.
Of course. Of course.
Non.
Please, come again.
Bon, allez.
someone who sounded like Shinsaku in the area. But then those thugs just surrounded me. You're right. Thank you. Now, I think you're likely to find Shinsaku up ahead. But I've heard he's been rather unruly of late. I thought me being there might make him less likely to act up. But I fear I will just be a burden to you. Will you go to Shinsaku in my stead? Thank you so much. Please, be careful. I'll be waiting at the Sakura Inn.
Bien. Ok. Alors. Ah ouais, il y a mon collègue. Ok. Alors attends, parce que là... Je peux pas aller là. Je ne peux pas. Ok, je pensais. Alors... Voilà, ça c'est bon. Attends, on va faire hop. Inventaire menu. Inventaire menu. Alors, qu'est-ce que tu peux...
Take your time. Is that all?
Qu'est-ce que je peux te prendre? Remettre d'endurance, de puissance.
Is that all?
Remettre Sky.
I wonder how you use it.
Alors,
Thanks for your patronage.
y'a rien.
You decided to come. What? Let's find out how lucky you are. Getting wound up. I may have pushed it too far.
serious? You are good.
C'est bon.
Have you had enough fun? Well, I'm impressed. I guess you got more than just luck on your side. I've been putting together my militia. Isn't this the perfect place? The authorities won't suspect a thing. You came all this way to tell me that. And he's to be executed, right? That's not news to me. But are you sure you want to share that news with your enemies? I mean, you are working for the shogunate, aren't you? Am I? Well, perhaps. I'm not a mind reader. But what does that matter in the end? It would be a waste to kill you now. We are not done with each other, I'm afraid. So, Katsura and the others at the Sakura Inn, I'm sure. Come join us there. I'll buy you a drink.
Bon. Ceux qui connaissent Shoin. Ah ouais. Parlez à Rōnin à l'auberge Sakura, ok? Oui, c'est bon. Alors, équipement, il y a quelque chose de nouveau. Ok. Le cheval, ok. Ça. Ok. arrive, ok. Plutôt.
So you managed to round up Shinsaku? I knew you could do it!
My husband arrived just a moment ago. I'm so relieved. Katsura should join us very soon. He's finding out all he can about my brother's situation.
Once everyone's here, we'll come up with a plan to save Master Shoin. I'm sure you'll have some ideas.
Oh non.
Understood. Just make sure you're back before Katsura gets here. Ah, Shinsaku seemed like he had more to discuss with you. Sounds like it could be interesting.
Non, excuse. On recommence.
Once everyone's here, we'll come up with a plan to save Master Shoin. I'm sure you'll have some ideas.
Oui, c'est bon.
That's what I want to hear.
Je vais répondre ça, désolé. Ok, oui, pas de souci. Allez.
Master Shoin is set to be executed soon. I've heard from several of my sources, and believe it to be true. I want everyone's ideas on what we should do.
The prison walls are unshakable. But what of the people inside?
What do you mean? What are you getting at?
Some of the girls are persuadable. We can use the Kihetai to bring a few of them over to our side.
Shinsaku, our priority is saving Master Shoin's life. We simply don't have time for such games.
Do you have any better ideas?
Those pathetic officials are nothing to fear. I say we march in from the front.
Genius plan. #1 student.
Will you two give it a rest? Roma, do you have any thoughts?
Indeed I do. There's a watchtower right by the prison. We could just climb it, then go swoosh right in.
How does one swoosh exactly?
What? You don't know how to swoosh? You know, have a swoop, or take a glide.
What do you think? Perhaps you can offer us an impartial opinion.
I knew it. I knew you'd get it. And don't worry, I'll leave the swooshing up to you.
Very well. We will do as you suggest. All right then. Everyone, prepare yourselves.
Ouais, par en haut, c'est le mieux, je pense. Y a quelque chose.
I've procured some What will it be?
Toujours pas. Je sais pas quoi faire de.
Of course.
Je vais plutôt te vendre.
Is there anything else? Please, come again.
I know I sounded pretty confident back there, but can you really do it? Swoosh, right in. I should have known. That's a relief. I always knew there was something about you. We're of the same mind, on the same page. Right then. A great man finishes what he started. And all that. Now head to that watchtower.
Allez.
The watchtower ladder is broken. I need to fix it, but I'd appreciate a little help. I'm short of wood. Could you gather some for me?
Ok.
You went and got it for me. Thanks, this is just what I need.
Bon. Je pense qu'on va arrêter là. On va arrêter là, je pense. Parce que le truc, bon, on va faire le rapport et puis après on arrête. On va faire le rapport et après c'est bon. Allez, parce qu'elle a la
Sorry
vidéo,
to
elle va être longue.
interrupt. I was so worried about my brother. I had to come. I haven't seen anyone coming or going. That means he is still in there. I heard the plan was to swoosh right in, whatever that entails. Are you all set? That's great. I shall pray for your safe return. Have you spoken to my husband? Genzui is liable to rush in there by himself at the last moment. If we wait too long, the sentence will be carried out, and all will be in vain. Please, do all you can to save my brother.
Bon, lancer la mission coopérative ABC là, ouais d'accord, ok. Ok.
All right, let's get swooshing.
Il s'est cassé la gueule ou quoi? Je crois qu'on s'est je veux pas dire mais... Parce que le truc c'est que ouais, je me suis chié. Je crois, ouais. Et ouais, je me suis chié. Mince. Ah mais ça daille. Non mais sérieux.
not looking so good.
I can keep going.
Here they come!
Don't be reckless.
That was too close.
I can keep going.
Ah, mais tu les as tous... Boum, 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 boum. Get out!
I can keep going.
Over for a moment. That was smooth. Ready to finish!
Attends, juste un truc.
動くな Take it easy.
Sorry for the trouble.
Shoin Yoshida? The new arrival? He was here, but they took him off somewhere. It seems the guards had it in for him.
If I could just swipe that key, I could let myself out. But the guards won't budge from where they're stationed. What's that? Oh, they're in a building on the other side of the grounds.
Very nice.
c'est bon, les équipements c'est les mêmes ou pas? Ouais. Et est-ce que lui, ouais. Ah bon. La deuxième câble. Ah ouais, la deuxième clé.
Oi, you! How did you get in here? What are you doing? Well, looks like I've got a fight on my hands. Admit, I'll beat you to a pulp!
Ah ouais.
Not over. I'm just getting started. What the hell are you?
Hey! You're not looking so good!
I'm just getting started. I can keep going.
Ah c'est bon ça.
Nice find.
Eh ben.
Who are you? You don't look like a god. Ah, if it isn't Ryoma. I expect you have risked your life to be here, but I am afraid you must leave. Is that so? I am grateful, but it matters not. I cannot leave this place. I have done nothing wrong, you see. Were I to escape, it would be an admission of my guilt.
Please, Master Shoin. Japan is changing. But we need you to show us what new form it should take.
Listen to me, Ryoma. It is you who will build this nation, who will define its form for future generations. Listen to your heart. Walk the righteous path. You are capable of greatness. I have every faith that you will succeed.
Tu vas pas me dire que je suis venu pour rien.
The people must rise and demand revolution. How else can change endure? It is within any individual's power to envision our future and shape it. All they need do is discover their purpose, and my death just might help them decide. Do you see now? Death is my final task. But I have one request. Give this to Fumi. My vision for the fate of our nation. The future as I see it. May it be of service as you build a new Japan. Thank you. I am counting on you. If only we had met in a different place and time.
Sérieux, ça dalle. Bon, on va arrêter là parce que là ça fait assez long quoi. Ok. Échappez-vous de la prison. Allez, on s'échappe et puis c'est la fin. Ouais, c'est pas bon. Ah. Bon.
So my brother refused to leave his cell. I had a feeling he might have decided to sacrifice himself. It is very like him. This is my brother's last will and testament.
Bon.
I must give it to Katsura without delay. He will broadcast these words far and wide. I have no doubt. Ah, yes. I brought a fresh kimono for my brother. Please take it as a token of my gratitude.
Mais bien sûr.
Right. Let's part ways for now. We'll hold off any guards who try to give chase. We'll regroup in the Sakura Inn. Look after Fumi. You hear?
I must take my brother's letter to the Sakura Inn.
There's no escape. Prepare yourself.
I must not let this letter be stolen.
Ah là là. Bon, c'est bon quoi. Allez, viens. Bon, on va finir par ça. Je croyais qu'on allait rentrer tranquille à l'auberge, pas du tout. Ouais. On va aller à l'auberge quand même, et puis voilà. Au moins c'est fait. Pas loin, et après on finit par là parce que la vidéo elle doit faire je sais pas combien. Aïe.
What kept you? We've been waiting for ages.
Damn it! Curse those Shogunate dogs! You were supposed to protect her!
It seems a plan to split up and avoid attention has backfired.
If they'd wanted to kill you, they would have. But here you are. Did they say anything? Meaning if you'd put up a fight, they would have killed Fumi. No wonder they call him the Blue Demon.
Master Shoin is being transported to the execution grounds in Edo. Most likely Fumi will be in Edo too.
We won't achieve anything standing around here. We must go to Edo without delay.
What are you going to do? Honestly, I'd really like if you were to join us in Edo. What do you think?
Ouais, mais... Ouais, si.
Good to hear. Let's do this.
Allez, on va arrêter là. Trop longue la vidéo là, je sais pas combien elle fait. On verra bien. On finit là.
On your feet!
You are next.
Thank you. Your time has come. Rise as one.
Master Sword! Hey! You saw it too, right? He stayed true to himself. Right to the bitter end. It matters. You can be sure of that. Come on. Did you really watch that and feel nothing? Katsura, Shinsaku, Genzui. His actions have inspired them all, and many more besides. By dying, Master Shoin passed something on to us. What exactly that is, well, I can't say for sure. All I know is that I have to do all I can to forge a new Japan. Now, let's go and join Katsura and the others. Seems they're lying low in the remains of Saihoji Temple.
Bon allez, on finit là. Et on continuera.
We'll have to be careful. Edo is
Plus
the
tard.
shogunate's stronghold.
La vidéo elle est trop longue.
The red demon has eyes everywhere, so we can't move in plain sight.
Allez, à la prochaine, ça suit. Allez.